Hello guys, I know, welcome to the ProDota Cup by Smashcast TV. We have the actual last match of the day, of the last best of two of the day, so it's the last match. After this, there's no more Dota, but it's gonna be a good one as Thunder Awaken are fighting against Mind's Eye. Once again, it's round number 2, and Thunder Awaken are looking to make a complete circle and getting that perfect 2-0, but Mind's Eye looking to stop that streak and get that win against the Peruvian team. We're here in the ProDota Cup American region, of course, sponsored by XBet. So again, feel free to check out their site if you want to bet on the ProDota Cup teams with favorable odds. And of course, use the code BOUNTYX for the deposit of 100 euros. That said, guys, let's get right into the draft. But before we do so, allow me to present myself. My name is DSwordfish, and I'll be here with Vätte for the last match of the day. How are you doing, Vätte?
Finally, big red buttons from both sides of a Thunder Awaken and Mind's Eye. Chronosphere plus Enigma with the darkest black holes. Is it a Smash Enigma once again?
Could be. I mean, probably. I think. Do you think that? I don't think they put it in position 4 anymore, especially with the clockwork, right? So I think it could be Smash Enigma. I like this Smash Enigma. He can't play as aggressively as Bad Rider, but he has a lot of lane control. However, I think the picks here, which you were excited about as well, Ogre Magi faces Void for Mind's Eye.
Yeah, I really love this kind of things. They're super simple, but working like magic mostly. It's just like, you know, you can take any pick, put Ogre Magi in there, and bam, magic. It's getting better with the Bloodlust. You don't need to, I don't know, get some kind of a amazing synergy. Oh, like, you know, there was a team, I forgot, I think it was Overpower, who actually loved to get into, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but there was some kind of a Phoenix into Buck, and after that there
I
is
recall
like,
that, yeah.
with the Ghost Ship, this kind of things.
The Wombo combo.
Keep it simple, guys. So all we need for this Faceless Void, and remember, I get a game like this. You pick a Void plus Ogre Magi, you get a red buff, you pick Magnus, you get a blue buff on Faceless Void, and Faceless Void destroys everyone. But Faceless Void and Magnus combination is not that good, I guess.
No? You don't think so?
Well, you can zone out, you can actually, there is a control over BKB, 2 controls over BKB, so being an Enigma in that regard can be quite problematic. A lot of right-click damage from both Faceless Void and the Chronosphere, and even without it, with the Bloodlust and the Magnus Empower, may be pretty good. So you zone out fight in 2 particular places. Basically, one is Chronosphere, another one is RP. It's easy to zone out and separate Thunder Awaken like this, and maybe pretty good.
I mean, I like the Magnus more than for the RP. Oh wow, that's position 5. I want to say Silencer probably. That actually allows you for some easy initiations. I like the Magnus more for the farming potential than really the RP as a whole. I like the Virtus Pro style of Magnus where you kind of just farm and farm. I mean, those words that Lil said, Magnus is so good because he can either team fight or he can farm, and he excels at both, right? So in this case, you kind of team fight in a very, you know, awkward fashion, if anything, and you still win. And now the Silencer stopped the black hole. You should be able to stop Thunder Awaken easily. It's so hard to play Enigma against a Silencer, if not impossible. You either catch him in the black hole or you're screwed. There's nothing you can do to stop that global Silencer from stopping your black hole. So either, the only thing that does though is that Mind's Eye now doesn't have the initiation or the counter initiation of the global silence, because you'll be waiting for that black hole to end or to be used, so you can cancel it. And you'll be relying much more on Faceless Void as initiation. Maybe combine it. I wouldn't mind something like an Invoker, for example, for Mind's Eye. To combine it with Void.
Or Death Prophet can be kind of a good old combo wombo with Void and Death Prophet on the mid lane. She's pretty strong. Plus, Invoker still needs a bit of time to get his items, to get his Aghanim Scepter, and Death Prophet is pretty strong on the mid lane. She gets her items, and while Void, if it's a carry Void, getting his minimum items, some kind of a Maelstrom, or Manta Style, or Diffusal Blade, or Mask of Madness, actually plenty of builds on Faceless Void to go on, even Radiance, Lincoln Sphere, something like this. But Death Prophet grants you pushing potential, which you're lacking now a bit. Maybe Ogre Magic helps it like a tiny little bit with the Bloodlust. But wow, Necrophos instead. So it's an offlane Void, I guess.
No, it could be an offlane Necrophos. run Necrophos with Ogre Magi to some degree because both of them are pretty strong. I mean, it's good because now you get the ranged melee combination for both because you would usually offlaners are melee and you would run Ogre Magi in the offlane, but now Ogre Magi with Necrophos and kind of rotate in mid once Necrophos gets enough levels to stand the harassment. It's not like Dazzle's really strong against Necrophos. The Clockwork is pretty good, but then you stop the Clockwork from actually ganking the mid lane, which is also pretty convenient for Mind's Eye. And okay, Thunder Awaken picking an interesting pickup here. The Phantom Lancer.
Well, the Grumpy Cat was popular from side of our wheel previously, and this hero is actually getting more and more popular, especially with the Aghanim Scepter nowadays. Deals a lot of damage, and a lot of people are actually underestimating him. Plus, what's interesting for Thunder Awaken, they got one big button, aka Enigma. Meanwhile, while they're waiting for this Darkest Black Hole, they can split push, they can do something like this, but Enigma is some kind of an inactive. From side of a Mind's Eye, there is also a huge cooldown spell, aka Global Silence, but after that, there is also Chronosphere. So it will be quite problematic. So most likely we will see something like big fight, and then both teams are licking their wounds, split pushing a bit, farming somewhere, and after that one bam, another big fight. Because fighting without Global Silence and Chronosphere for Mind's Eye is probably not that wise, especially 5-on-5-man initiations. For Thunder Awaken, it makes a little bit more sense because they heavily rely on their Black Hole, and if Phantom Lancer will get a very good game, he will be able to destroy Mind's Eye, it feels like.
That's true. That's a really good point. Phantom Lancer, Clockwork, Dazzle are all heroes that don't really need to wait too long between team fights. It's really the Enigma, but you don't rely on the Enigma so much as Mind's Eye does in the big ultimate. That's going to be a big factor here for Thunder Awaken. They think that Phantom Lancer is going to go mid. I agree with that idea, unless you want to run him against a Necrophos. You can pick, for example, now like a Queen of Pain would be quite nice for Thunder Awaken, that kind of style, or a Lina. Yeah, that same style, right? Same idea. Magical damage, a lot of. The Silencer doesn't really bother you as much as Lina as the Queen of Pain would, so that's really nice. You can also go for easy Yule Scepter. You destroy the Necrophos. Faceless Void catching a Lina is quite hard as long as the Lina has some sort of mobility item. Maybe Force Staff would not be a bad idea, because Faceless Void would have to rush a Blink Tag, which is not too great. Thunder Awaken's lineup is looking really good. Good combination of magical physical damage, not too much reliance on Black Hole, and of course, a good amount of counter initiation to stop the Faceless Void from having great Chronos. Now we see Mind's Eye, last pick here. 5th pick. What could you see here for Mind's Eye? They need a mid, right? Yeah.
Mid, yeah, most likely, unless it is a silencer in the mid lane, but I'm not sure if Planesa actually can feel quite nice against Lina, but they already see the whole pick of Thunder Awaken, so they got some time to think what they can do to cover this. I still think about the Death Prophet, to be honest. She can be quite decent, plus it's a silence, another silence, second additional one, which can be quite important from their side pushing potential. She is quite tanky, and it's a Queen of Pain, 2 amazing women in the mid lane.
Are you do you feel empowered now that you saw these? I mean, it is actually, now that we know who the Chinese Mysterious Man, I like the Chinese Mysterious Man, but he's gonna be playing Lina, so it doesn't really fit the hero too much anymore. We know it's Leo style. Vätte was right the whole time. So Lina is one of his best heroes, together with Ember Spirit, probably star heroes for Leo style, especially this season. He likes that fiery heroes, you know, passionate. And that really works out for Thunder Awaken because they're very comfortable with these picks. Phantom Lancer on Van is also something that is very comfortable with. So now you're going to have a really comfortable lineup for Thunder Awaken for the most part. Mystico is also a guy that loves playing Dazzle, a Stoke on the Clockwork similarly. And for Mind's Eye, you're going to have... These picks are more standard per se, but the Necrophos or the Faceless Void, if they're not so used to them. In fact, it's actually going to be Faceless Void even in the off lane with Necrophos as a carry. But you were correct about that. Necrophos can be played carry, which is interesting. I don't know if I like that too much, actually, because I don't know if they're gonna have enough damage. You don't really have any combination with the Faceless Void Chrono. Like, only Sonic Wave, that's it, right? So...
yeah. What is actually very interesting, I came up with this like a minute ago or something like this. We're talking about, when we're talking about Dazzle, we already mentioned some kind of a combo wombo with his Shadow Wave. Most common picks, something like Terrorblade.
Oh, right, I forgot, yeah.
Chaos Knight. Yet, with the PL and his Aghanim Scepter, plus he's spamming so much illusions, it's just a one shot, literally, on almost whomever got unlucky to be jumped on by Phantom Lancer.
Actually, I never thought about that. That's a ridiculous bomb. In early game, you can use Doppelganger if you really need the damage for the Shadow Wave combo. And later on, like you said, the Aghanim Scepter. That is a combination of magical, physical damage. Oh my god, that's going to be ridiculous. I want to see that. I'm excited, see. Van it's an even better pickup than CK or... Well, not CK, but it's a better pickup than Terrorblade, for example. Or Shadow Demon used to also be a big bomb with Dazzle once before Position 4 started being a thing. Because, of course, Van actually has much more damage, and the Aghanim Scepter is usually the build on Phantom Lancer these days. They actually have a really good lineup, now that I think about it. In Mind's Eye, again, I think they made the slight mistake in the lanes. I don't particularly like the Void as a even with the Ogre Magi as dual lane, you're really going to need a lot of fun.
It may work out. It may work out, but the lane with the Dazzle and Clockwork seem actually not particularly that strong, and already Silence Babagunush goes for an aggressive tri-lane once again, and they are living from this solo against Smash.
I mean, so let's analyze like last time, right? Last time I think we both can agree that Mind's Eye with the aggressive tri-lane did not do the best of jobs, right? For a lot of variety of reasons. But this time you all have Necrophos versus Enigma, so he does get much more farm as Necrophos. Maybe even go for a build with Radiance or something a bit more carry-like, right? You're able to go for a dual offlane, and Void is able to get enough last hits in a dual offlane because he's a pretty strong offlaner. However, you are up against a really strong tri-lane with a Phantom Lancer. A Phantom Lancer is one of the scariest heroes in the early game because of his ridiculous damage with the Phantom Lance, right? And a low cooldown spell, of course.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting because Phantom Lancer is such an underrated hero now. It feels like a lot of people be like, oh, what is this? Phantom Lancer, the game is lost. But guys, give them time and you will see how amazing the hero is. Meanwhile, they are going on the Onion. There is so much lockdown plus slow plus Poison Touch on Dazzle. They actually probably may go for a Void here. He still saves up his Time Walk, but he's losing a lot of HP. Well, self-committed and trade 1 for 1. And there was a kill for Van, first blood for the Grumpy Cat. Hopefully it won't make him even more grumpy. Maybe a little bit happier.
I mean, that first blood going for Van is pretty important. You do get a considerable amount of difference. Oscar gets a good amount of experience, but in the end, Phantom Lancer actually rivals him just because of how the kills were disputed, it being an Ogre Magi, first blood, whatnot. They could have played a little less aggressively. I don't think Mystico had to die there, but it doesn't really matter. You still got the kill on the Ogre Magi. You relieved a bit of the pressure, and you force the Silencer now to rotate. Wow, that was good evasion by then. Which means that the Lina herself is going to have a much easier time, because Lina usually wins the lane against the Queen of Pain, as long as she plays, as long as she's level 3 or so, has enough points at the Dragon Slave.
Yeah, but Fazislav actually rolls with the high amount of creeps on the mid lane. 10-4 and 6-0 for the Hostile on the mid lane. Meanwhile, on the top, they're actually contesting for every single creep, and there's such a bloodbath there. Z-Talk actually being... He's burning, he's cursed, life is sad, but here comes the Onion. Is there a Shadow Wave available? No, unfortunately. Z-Talk manages to... Oh, he's losing his intelligence a bit, but again, once it's a trade. And as soon, actually, they will have a heal on Dazzle, I bet things will go superiorly different on the top lane. And if you think about the Phantom Lance a little bit more, this hero is actually pretty hard to gank unless you got some kind of a very reliable stun like a Shadow Shaman, for example, because some projectiles may be dodged by the Doppelganger, plus you got his Soul Ring, plenty of regen, and he just spams lances in your face.
I mean, you're right, he's not only a hard hero to kill, but he's also a hero that deals a lot of damage and can put a lot of pressure, especially with this build with the Soul Ring, which I actually really like, to spam the lances more efficiently. Now they go again against this Ogre Magi, slowing him down. Arcane Curse, though, stopping Van from using any spells. Shadow Wave to deal a bit of extra damage. It spells him with the Doppelganger, and in the end, Van will be able to survive. Sorry, will be able to get the kill onto Onion, and Stock will survive this engagement.
Actually, Thunder Awaken are using the environment very in a smart ways. They're trapping their opponents in trees and this kind of things. Z-Talk plays quite smart, and even though there is a pretty strong tri-lane from side of a Mind's Eye, but again, they're rolling with the same problems. They don't have a legit stun. Ogre Magi still got Ignite on level 1. After that, he will probably go for Bloodlust or this kind of things, and feels like they're actually giving up on the top lane, leaving for Oscar alone. Instead, they're going on the Z-Talk, yet here comes the savior for him. He's burning, he's cursed, but he got enough region, and time to go back. Oh, meanwhile, fastest love. Oh, is going to be a deny. Oh, yeah. Imagine there was a miss. Imagine there was somebody.
That's gonna say, like, it was pretty ballsy that he just stood in the high ground, like, kill me, please, you know, instead of going down to see if, to stop the mischance from happening. Regardless, that ended up working out for them. Oh, let's talk Ray. Ooh, about to catch your Arcane Curse, though, like, last second means that's a amplified damage of the Arcane Curse. It's a 10-second Arcane Curse, 140 damage, not bad. But still, Lina can survive this attack. And Estok is now moving down to the mid lane. While in the top lane, they keep harassing this poor Void. No time walk, so they're going to go Doppelganger. There's the heal bomb. But Oscar uses everything in his power to heal. His fingers quickly like, caressed all his keyboard. Like, please, please, please heal.
Well, are you impressed with the amount of damage from the healing bomb now? It's only level 1 though. That's quite a lot.
I was already impressed with the beginning. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I love heal bomb. I don't know why that's not a strategy much more used. It's great. And the support can deal so much damage by healing. I don't know. That's just, it blows my mind.
If I'm not mistaken, there was a game with the Virtus Pro where...
Like recently, you mean?
There were... No, it was quite a bit of a time ago. And I remember there was a sad Razor going on the high ground in the minus armor plus Terrorblade illusions.
Yeah.
And that was a level 20 Razor or something like that. And he got... Bam. Vaporized.
I mean, my favorite games were before when I think it was actually Puppy, whatever team he was playing, and used to like to run the, or Synderen as well, the Dazzle Shadow Demon combo. And in the early game, you'd see it and you'd be like, oh, it's just two supports. What can they do? Soul Catcher, Disruption, Heal Bomb. Oh, I just disappeared. Like, I just lost control of my hero. You just died. There's nothing I can do there. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. I don't know. I just enjoy seeing it. And also, it's also physical damage. People forget this, but physical damage early on in the game deals much more damage than the magical because you have less armor than magical resistance. So, except for Ogre Magi, most of these heroes will be destroyed by that physical damage from the Shadow Wave. It's fantastic.
It was pretty interesting that Smasher got the same amount lost hits and denies as the opponent, Queen of Pain.
Specifically the same amount, huh? It's just, yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, they are exactly the same amount lost hits and denies. Meanwhile, Baba Ganoush get bullied out by the Z-Dog. Here comes the dropping his up. Oh, what a play by the Z-Dog! But there's 25 HP left. That was so good. But, oh god, no, smart from both players.
No, I think it was really good by the Silencer. I mean, that was an obvious play. The Cogs, it was okay, but I think
but
that was...
you can get lost. You can get lost in this kind of things, to be honest. Yeah, like when suddenly, oh, there's a tree there. What is happening? Why is it there?
Yeah, I understand. Like, it was good keeping calm, I suppose, but that was a fantastic play by the Silencer because he even knew that if he canceled the TP with Cogs, he would go down to the low ground and survive. That was really, really clever. Anyway, that's highlight of the game for sure. Stellar play with the little branches. Those Iron Branches plays, they're so small and they mean nothing. Because the Silencer had died, it meant nothing, really. But it's cool to watch anyway. It's just style points. Again, Oscar, being harassed. Infused Raindrops, usually good against the Phantom Lancer, but not if you're not healing any damage, right? It just blocks the damage which you could have healed with Time Walk anyway.
Actually, pay attention to this. Dazzle level 4, 2 points in Poison Touch, 2 points in Shadow Wave, no Grave, only a TP there. Yet there is a Necrophos with Scythe, there is a Queen of Pain with Sonic Wave, and plenty of other things. But I guess they are relying on aggression on the top lane so much that they don't really bother skilling Shallow Grave.
I think, oh. What did I just see? Clockwork?
Fuzzy Sloth actually he spared him. There was like already an animation of Sonic Wave and he was like, Fuzzy Sloth, live. Get off.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to waste that on the Clockwork, or maybe he just didn't think it was enough damage. Regardless, because I didn't see that. But I think that the build for Dazzle nowadays is to actually max Poison Touch. The few times it's played, the few heroes that really prefer him, the few players, Synderen, really just max Poison Touch nowadays, even above Shadow Wave in some situations, because the offensive capabilities of Dazzle are really increased. However, getting one level in Shadow Grave, like you mentioned, to stop a bunch of things, including the Chrono, the Sonic Wave, the Reaper Scythe, would be very useful here. They're just winning the early game and they're pretty confident, so they can play a bit more aggressively, and I don't think that's a bad idea either. Try to take advantage of when the times you're winning.
But yet now he keeps a point, at least just in case of some scary things going on. Look at this, they're zoning out the Oscar, like, sad, tipping out. There's no Chronos here, pray for Bashes. Oh, Bashes didn't happen. Fuzzy Sloth revealed himself on the top lane, and now Van will be much more careful.
That's quite clever, It seems dumb, but the time lock actually It's just on the creep, and it's a 15% chance on level 2, so the chance of it bashing is quite low. Worked out for them. Now, in the bottom lane though, Formless is being harassed. There comes the Clocker. Oh, the Black Hole's committed there. They want to kill this Necrophos. Even the Lina commits the Laguna's Blade. Everything. But again, when are you going to really use your Black Hole? Once the Silencer gets global silence. It makes sense. Just use it on the Necrophos and get an easy kill.
Yep. At least you need to secure this kind of kills, especially on Lina, where you want to get your early Bloodstone. And so Laguna Blade doesn't have that much of a cooldown, so don't be scared to use this spell.
Yeah, I agree. Laguna's Blade is fine. I was more talking about the Black Hole there. The commitment of Laguna's Blade seems reasonable. The Black Hole was more like, okay, maybe they could have done it without Black Hole, but I think that was
well,
okay.
So think about this way.
Oh, wait.
There's Enigma with Necros.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Let's talk about this. Necronomicon on Enigma. This item is never picked up nowadays, and was never picked up on Enigma before. That's really interesting.
Well, I guess Smash is inventing new ways of playing Dota.
Right, but let's do some theory crafting. Why is Necrophos good on Enigma? Besides the obvious, which is, let's do Black Hole and I can get solo kills just with my Necronomicons. What else does it give you?
First, it grants you additional pushing power, scouting out, true vision.
That's true.
Mana burn, purge, basically, on the ranged creep. Maybe quite decent, plus very decent scale of additional intelligence plus strength. You can just man up, and we were talking already about the healing bomb. The more, the merrier.
And it's true, actually. I didn't consider that, so that's a good point. So I think the stats are good for Necronomicon. Going on drums on Enigma would be too crazy, and Necronomicon gives similar kind of stats. But the idea is that I think as well the mana burn is something that we really should remark, because how do you stop a silence or global silence? You really can't as an Enigma. We talked about this in the drafting phase. But if you burn his mana, it's a really high mana spell, right? And Silencer usually goes for Treads or Tranquils, not Arcane Boots. So you usually don't have enough healing or enough mana recharge to do that. And your spells in general do cost a lot of mana. So if in the early game you don't get many kills and you don't get the extra intelligence, you're going to have mana problems later on. Necronomicon can kind of punish you. On top of that, you also get pushing power, so that's good.
Yeah, think about this way. Enigma is that kind of a hero who is using Black Hole and then AFK in jungle, especially in the very beginning of the game where he doesn't have a BKB or anything. Necro, actually, is that kind of an item which got not that expensive components for the first book, and after that you can keep on scaling it, and you're making yourself useful while you still doesn't have a Black Hole.
Yeah, it's true. Because you actually get a bit of a utility, because you do amplify, I guess, your Eidolon's usage by having more units and being more of a pusher and whatnot. Yeah, it's a very good point. I mean, I think that item is quite clever. It's unorthodox, but it is quite clever. Because also, on the other note, what other items does Enigma really need? When you have a Silencer on the other side, Blinken and BKB become kind of redundant, right? Maybe a Yosceptor more than anything, a Lotus Orb to stop the silence if you do it a bit too early, but that's it. BKB still is useful, but you don't necessarily need to rush it. However, he's gonna die, so all his theory crafting for it in Enigma. Use a Necronomicon before he dies. I'm gonna go on to the Silencer, but he gets hit by the Reaper Scythe. In comes the Dazzle. The heal bomb is still available with the Eidolons as well. Fuzzy Sloth gets a kill onto Estok in the another lane, and then this mid lane is Lina versus Quap. Who's gonna win this engagement? Laguna's Blade still variable. Fuzzy Sloth, taking a lot of damage, but she's tanking it like a champion, and it's gonna be Lina trying to kill her desperately, but she doesn't have enough damage. She's gonna blink away as the Shadow Strike slowly chips down Leo Styles' health, and he's gonna survive thanks to the Shrine. It was really close to dying there.
Well, actually, what I thought about, you made me think about Necronomicon. I actually can't think about the game normally now. There are so many other cool things there. So there's a Heartstopper Aura, Aoi Queen of Pain, and Aoi Silencer with his Arcane Curse, for example. Yeah, and whomever just touches the red
the melee one.
That you get a damage there out of nowhere, and you're like, what? Why? It actually may be problematic, especially when you're not that high on the HP. Yeah, nor Silencer on Queen of Pain. Yeah, who just was unfortunate to get a Sonic Wave or the Scream of Pain on the creep, may actually get a Laguna in the face after that. That's a new setup for Lina. So you're thinking about, there is like some kind of a Soul Catcher and then Laguna Blade, or set up a stun. No, you deal the damage from the
where's Soul Catcher?
No, like all in all, about the...
Oh, right,
While
okay.
on the bot lane, there's a Black Hole committed on the Necrophos. That's what I like about this kind of Enigmas. Mostly Enigma players, they're like, oh no, I won't use my Black Hole until I will get all the 5 men in there. Smash doesn't care. Goes Necronomicons. That calls the single target, completely fine with it.
No, Smash has learned from Virtus.pro. This is the style of play of Virtus.pro, which is actually really akin. Not to, again, I really like the team, but is really akin to the South American playstyle of constant aggression, right? It's the idea that I have a spell, so I gotta use it, because that's the most efficient way of using a spell. If you save it, especially in the early game, it's gonna do absolutely nothing for your team. Because a black hole not used, the whole like puppy idea of, but it's psychological power. Now, you don't care about that in the early game, because they're not gonna play that safely. You're also playing against a team that's probably gonna be a bit more aggressive about it, so I do like this a lot. In fact, going on Necrophos early to stop his snowball is also a very intelligent idea. And now, the Smash is going to go for the Necronomicon level 3. He's really close to it. He's also a really fast farmer, so that means Necronomicon level 3 comes really early. And it's one of the strongest items in the game if you get it super early. I mean, it's going to minute 15.
Octocore?
No, I think it's BKB. BKB immediately to stop the silencer. But Octocore is not a bad idea later on in the game, huh? For the Enigma, especially because of your cooldown reduction talent. You go for... We've even seen Radiance Enigma go for Octocore.
Yeah, actually that maybe some kind of an idea, but it feels like he's going to get a BOTs. Meanwhile, they're going on Formless. Here comes the hook shot, and that's a dead Necrophos, or Global Silence actually manages to save them, and the attack from Thunder Awaken didn't get successful.
Yeah, in the end, but they're utilizing that travel boots on... Oh, they took the tower? No, they did not. They're utilizing the travel boots well on the Phantom Lancer, but for now, he really needs the Fusel Blade to be able to deal enough damage, right?
And look at the bottom lane, so there is already
Enigma
there. Tier 2 falling solo to Enigma, minute 14, and Van actually gets a kill on Baba Ganoush.
And meanwhile, Oscar has been hit by the Poison Touch, so he can't initiate so safely. He's only level 2 Poison Touch. Interesting. Okay. It's a weird choice to just leave it at level 2, but I suppose Shallow Grave is favored now, and it's not a bad idea. And you are seeing, like you said, Enigma taking all of these objectives, and even though they're not going for so many kills, or they haven't gone so many kills just yet, they are taking enough objectives to get a 6k advantage over the enemy team, which is fantastic. In addition to Necronomicon level 3, minute 15. Oh my god, if there was a Beastmaster this game, he would just have... That's like an orgasm for the Beastmaster. It's beautiful. Minute 15. So much damage.
Yeah, that feels like Fuzzy Sloth with Arcane Rune got some kind of an evil plan to kill Smash on the top lane. He is waiting for his Void, most likely, with the Mask of Madness.
Yeah, that's... Oh, wait. That's interesting. Interesting. Wait, seeing Smash? Yeah, it's gonna be dead. Uses Midnight Pulse, does not have the Black Hole, has the Eidolons, but that's it. Oscar's getting dealt a lot of damage, actually. He might even go down. No, Time Walk last second. And in the bottom lane, they try to get a counter kill onto Formless. They say, Enigma, fine, we kill the Necrophos anyway. This Necrophos is gonna die no matter what, but he tricks them, goes back, uses the Phase Boot, so there's the second Spirit Lance, but they can't follow this through. And in the end, Necrophos will survive this.
Well, Van is being like, wait for my Diffusal Blade, and after that, we will talk. Diffusal Blade in 400 Golden Phantom Lance.
Yeah, it's really quick. That's a pretty quick Diffusal Blade plus Travel Boots, actually. His gold per minute is quite high. 450 for a Phantom Lancer has been fighting all the time. Yeah. And with the Soul Ring on top to boot, right? So that works nicely for Phantom Lancer. That has enough defensive and mobility items already, so then he can go for really a glass cannon-y build even. With Diffusal Blade, Manta style, straight up. And with this, by the way, just talking about the Mind's Eye, because we didn't comment too much. Oh, actually. Well, gank, another kill onto Smash. It's almost like both teams are just dedicated to kill Necrophos and Enigma. That's the only two objectives, and Smash has been silenced. He can't counter the Black Hole. Unfortunately, he's going to go down and losing a bit more intelligence.
Look at the Oscar! It's only the Eidolons plus the Necronomicons, and he's already dropping so fairly low. He almost lost his all HP to solo Enigma with Eidolons and Necros. Yeah. That's insane.
I mean, it's the Mask of Madness. I don't understand. I mean, the pickup I understand in this game because you have a Void that's not farming too quickly, so you want to get quick, efficient damage, right? And what is quicker and efficient than Mask of Madness on a Void? True. But it's a really dangerous item to be booting in the early game. They can only get ganks, but once it starts to be in the team fight, that Mask of Madness can cost him his life. The minus armor on a Void that has a 2.6 agility or 2.8 agility gain is not that effective. Because you really don't have anything to withstand, to recover your armor. And Necronomicon plus Eidolons deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, imagine this with the minus armor from Dazzle, it will just vaporize.
Yeah, exactly.
Mother. Oh, there are two angry supports on the top lane. Oh, they're jumping on the Onion. Most likely Onion going to be dead here. Force Staff was committed by the Necrophos to save Ogre Magi. Will he be able to run away? Clockwork is still being really mad, but Van is finishing for Ogre off.
Yep, and that's going to be another kill for Thunder Awakens as they proceed to go onto this tier 2 tower up top, utilizing that Phantom Lancer's power a bit more. He's going to be going for the Aghanims after the Diffusal Blade. I like that. I mean, it is the build now, but it still feels weird to see Aghanims on Phantom Lancer. And well, we'll see if their pushing power continues. I mean, they're pretty dedicated to pushing this tower down. With the Dazzle, they can withstand this push for quite a while. Even Lina joining in. Going for
and
Bloodstone.
Look at this separating. Yeah, they're going for Enigma. Smash actually dying once again to the Queen of Pain, yet they will avenge him. It feels like already the Fusion Blade up on the Van, and now that's a dead Queen of Pain. Yet the tier 2 is still standing there, and Sad got bullied out from the lane, yet he will come back. I know this for sure. He will come back for this tower, but later.
Yeah, we're gonna commit too much to this tower. In fact, it's just barely out of deny range, so it's quite clever. Left it at this point. Another really good boost of the Necronomicon. You can TP to it, right? And Eidolons later on in the game become really weak. Necronomicon is quite fast, so you can TP to it and be efficient with a Phantom Lancer, Child Boots, and then we saw how effective that was to kill the Queen of Pain, right? The Enigma died, sure, but you're willing to sacrifice an Enigma for a Queen of Pain.
Oh, that's actually another kind of a plus.
Yeah, of course.
For the,
yeah, it wasn't. It was like, definitely not a negative, right? It wasn't like, oh, you can TP to it. Oh, sucks. What a terrible thing.
Yeah, but like even more ability for this Phantom Lancer is pretty neat. Point Booster already up on PL. And question is how Mind's Eye are going to deal with this. We already saw the synergy between the Chronosphere. Like, look at this, they hate Smash. Chronosphere committed and Formless using Reaper's Scythe, finishing him off. Global Silence, no grace for you, Mr. Smash. And now Thunder Awaken are playing as 4. And actually, that was a thing before. Meanwhile, here comes the Initiation.
Down to Formless, they're slowing him down. They used the Diffusal Blade a bit too quickly. Formless still gonna go down to the Rocket Flare Onion, meanwhile being decimated by this Phantom Lancer. And this is what you get for killing my friends, says Van, as he gets revenge for Smash's death times 2.
Question is, what can Mind's Eye can do to defend this tower now? No Global, no Sonic Wave, no Ripper Scythe, no Chronosphere. They can do nothing now. And then Smash being like, okay, I'm fine with that. I got my mech, I got my Necros, I'm ready. Like, if you want to commit all your ults on me, I'm fine. As long as my team is coming there and destroying you without your spells, I'm alright.
I agree. It's just, there's nothing you can really do once you waste all your spells against Smash. I have to ask you, do you think really Smash is that valuable that you want to waste all those big ultimates on just to stop a black hole from happening?
I think they are scared of Smash too much. I remember the case in one of the games of ProDota Cup when Smash actually got picked off every single time, but he was playing Doxia. He was playing Doxia with Blink, Guardian Greaves, Pipe, these kind of very important items for the team fight. Yeah, right. Enigma, it was what? Meanwhile, on the bottom lane? Nah, nice. He is fine with Shadow Blade. There is no detection.
Right, so go on, Enigma, yeah.
Yeah, and as an Enigma, I'm not sure, they're so scared of the black hole that they are just dying after that. Meanwhile, mid lane.
Oh. He's like, nope, I don't want to go in with the Arcane Curse. In fact, if he has Oscar, the Chrono, they're going to commit to a different person, and the Bloodstone deny immediately. As the Clockwork, meanwhile, silenced up, the Courier just kind of walks by to distract them. It even kills the Courier, because why not? And his Stoke somehow will survive that. So in the end, they got a kill on the, or they didn't really get a kill on the Lina, but they did force a suicide. Which is okay. It's a start.
Well, Lina is actually so poor. She's even more poor than the Void. Just look at this. And top net worth is the Grumpy Cat. Halfway to the Aghanim Scepter. By Ben. Oh, Smash. No! It hurts my eye.
Again, Smash caught out. I mean, he has Black Hole ready and Necronomicon. Does he want to turn this around and try using Black Hole? Can't do it in time. Necronomicon wasted. That's an extra 200 gold. Maybe the Necronomicon there. Not the best of choices. He doesn't want to feed them, of course, but Oscar just... I could commit to them. Whatever. The point is, Smash died again, and it's starting to become the point where maybe Smash is not creating that much space. He's just dying at this point, playing a bit too aggressively.
Yeah, I guess that's the time when you should consider that you actually got a team. You got a team who is capable of protecting you and doing something. Maybe it's time for DSL to get back into the game. And there's Laguna committed for Onion, and Vaisislav runs away. That smells fishy. He needs to get away. Going for Orchid up to you. Scepter can be a decent idea. And they know that probably they may jump on Enigma, for example, or Dazzle. Dazzle is also a sweet target for them. But actually, Dazzle already going for Lotus Orb as the first item. Pretty interesting. Good against the Global Silence to purge it off. Good against Orchid on the Queen of Pain. Good against Reaper's Scythe. And, well, even against the Fire Blast in 3. Wow, that's actually interesting because maybe I am too old school about the Ogre Magi builds, but if there is some kind of a thing where you max Ignite, or like if you get some kind of a right click as you max Bloodlust, but Fire Blast is the like stun basically, it's the last spell you max out. Now he got 4 points in Bloodlust and 3 in Fire Blast.
Completely agree. The only reason why you would max Fire Blast over Ignite would be because you're hoping for multicast damage, because that's really the only reason you would max it. But I still like that you max Bloodlust first, which is the build, right? Maxing Ignite, if the early game did not go too well for you, it does not seem that great. Because it doesn't really reduce the cooldown, just increase the duration. So I see where he's coming from. Is he's just hoping for one of those like lucky stuns to be able to stop the Phantom Lancer and whatnot, because you will deal more damage, and of course multicast very effective if you max the Fire Blast. But yeah, it's still it seems like one of those, like my last game is like, I don't want to go for this build usually, but for this game I'm going to adapt to it because we are falling behind a bit and we're going to have to kill a Phantom Lancer. After all, it is Thunder Awaken playing a 4 Protect 5 essentially. We did see this before. Remember, we casted this game together, it was Thunder Awaken specifically, where Van was playing Anti-Mage and his whole team was like at 4,000 net worth and he was at 30,000 somehow and he carried the team to victory. It seems to be a similar game to that, except of course Lina and Enigma is still a bit more farmed, but Van will still be the main target here. If you kill Van, you win, and if Van is in the team fight, you're probably going to lose because he's way more farmed than the rest of your team, especially once you get that Ags.
Well, it feels like Enigma actually catching a lot of attention from the side of a Mind's Eye, and they're afraid of the wrong target. It feels like Phantom Lance, look at him. Okay, if you're playing with a Shadow Blade Void anyway, and Van's probably not running around with a million clones all the time, yeah, he actually got less HP than Enigma. So what's your problem? Go and kill Phantom Lancer if you're like focusing someone. He's on top of a network. He's dealing so much damage. He's doing so much in this game. Why not killing the Phantom Lancer?
Yeah. Because, well, mainly because you can't, right? I think that's why. Because you can't kill them.
Chrono plus Global. They're committing so much.
But Van is playing intelligent. That's what I mean. Like, Van is playing intelligently. Boots of travel to every single team fight, so he's never in the forefront of the team fights. Let Smash or Leostyle get caught out, and Van comes in afterwards as the cleanup crew more than anything. Yeah, that makes it so that your style is predictable, but it also makes it so you won't die so easily.
And look at how fast actually Roche goes down. There's a medallion on Clockwork. Plus Earn, they get plenty of sustain, especially with Dazzle. And Aegis on Van. Comeback plan for Mind's Eye.
I mean, what? Comeback plan for Mind's Eye, now that you saw the Aegis, you mean? Okay, Cry. Hope that Van feels bad for you, doesn't kill your whole team. No, obviously the point here would be try to like just wait till the Aegis expires, because you really can't do much. Like this, you see the Global Silence, but this Queen of Pain might still be in trouble. I mean, they have her. Look, the Necronomicon is just following her to oblivion, and they just can't get away. Oh, Rocket Flame, she will use the blink that second. Life Strike Array, beautiful guess. They knew exactly where she was going. This is why Leostyle plays so much Queen of Pain. He knows where to blink, and that was a fantastic kill by Leostyle.
Yeah, they committed even the hookshot there,
that's
but
fine.
That secures. That secures. So now, let's counter. For Eidolons, 2 Necros, plus Black Hole up, plus almost Mech up, and Mech is actually flying in the Courier, plus Dazzle, plus a lot of Phantom Lance illusions. Now, that's a time for simple maths, how to deal with it from side of a Mind's Eye, especially if you don't have your Queen of Pain.
Yeah, simple maths. 80,000 versus 1 versus 5. Can't win. Now, it is hard to clear the lanes, because if you look at them, like, what are you gonna waste? Scream of Pain and the Death Pulse? Yeah, okay, they can clear waves to some degree, but they're not particularly good. And on top of that, your Void is terrible at clearing lanes. Silencer is horrendous at clearing lanes. Every time you use Arcane Curse, it's like waiting 60 years for, you know, like plastic to to decompose. It's the exact same thing. It takes way too long for the creeps to die, so it's not useful. Ignite is not max, so you don't have that damage either in an area. So in the end, you depend on 2 heroes to clear your waves, and they can easily be countered. And again, Smash, but this time it could have been a trick because the Shadow Grave, comes really early though, and they force Oscar away. As they come in, the Lina wants to get the light strike around him. Hook shot! Oh, from downtown, the Clocker comes in, and he cogs him away. That Void is as good as dead, and Van wants to hit more blood. Concretely, the blood of the Onion. No, that makes no sense, but Onion is trying to stun out Van. He actually knows exactly which one he is, but that doesn't matter at all, as the illusions will finish off this fat ogre regardless.
There is no setup for Sonic Wave anymore, no Chronosphere. Even if Void will be up, he's still completely useless. He can't do anything, he will lose all his mana, will be bursted down if he will use his Mascot Madas. And look at all these summons which are actually being kept alive by Dazzle with his Shadow Wave.
Yeah, that's true, actually. The Shadow Wave, now even more than the Heal Bomb, is the sustain for your summons. Completely. I mean, having this amazing wall every time the tower hits you, how do you defend against that, like you mentioned earlier? And look how quickly these towers are falling. I mean, these racks, actually. They can't really defend this because they don't have the high ground defense, but they're going to come try anyway. Chrono, they have a really good Chrono, but they stun him in time! And the Sonic Wave goes into 4, but they need some sort of setup. Global Silence, this Void! Oh, actually, doesn't have a Chrono. He just walked in. It's actually on cooldown. Last strike array, they're going to stop him. They already killed this Clockwork, and they commit a Black Hole just for the Void. They want to prevent that Chrono from happening, but it was on cooldown anyway, and they did it. Good job. Void is dead. Formless, next target, and they don't want to commit to this too much, but Formless already lost all his mana, so they could just proceed to take these racks anyway. And the guys from Thunder Awaken just lost a Clocker. They could continue fighting this if they choose to do so. Smash just got his Necronomicon back up, but they're going to decide to take a breath and try to just TP back to base.
Yeah, they're not in a hurry. 15k gold advantage, probably wait for another black hole, finish up Guardian Greaves on Enigma, and feel relaxed.
Yeah, it's... I mean, right now, that was a good initiation again by Thunder Awaken. I don't know what the Void was doing, though. I don't know if he was threatening Chrono because he used it earlier and nobody saw or something, because I was actually quite confused. I mean, his movements were almost like he had Chrono, but there was no setup, right? And you don't have the team fight without it. And we already saw the uselessness of, oh, wow, is Liquid going to die? No. Whew, quick Yule Scepter to save her life, but Onion will die to Phantom Lancer, just finding him in the trees. And now they're starting to get the pickoffs. You can't farm your jungle anymore.
Oh, Leo's... oh,
no,
that could have been a great guess. But what's interesting that is Onion always knows which Phantom Lancer is the real one, because he keeps on stunning the real Van all the time. That's pretty interesting.
What I'm also really impressed by is how Leo Style plays Queen of Pain so much that you can always guess where she is when she blinks away. Have you noticed that? Like, every time, you guess. Like, he's guessing it correctly by Strike Array. That time he had it was on cooldown, but even the Rocket Flare guessed correctly. He even pinged her. And you're like, wow, when you're using map packs, this is the kind of thing that they say, oh, hacker. But he's not. He's just a genius.
Oh, here comes the detection, and that's a dead Void.
Yeah. Another fantastic hookshot by this Clockwork. I mean, he has been getting amazing hookshots stopping the Void every single time. And those cogs to push him forward have always marked his death. Again, really well played by Thunder Awaken in this game. Yeah,
they're playing very well because they know the heroes. They know not even the opponents, but how these heroes are being played. And it's hard to stop them.
It's what we were talking about in the draft, right? The comfort picks. Like, when you're playing this kind of... especially a tournament that's not like tier 1, you know, draft is important, but so is being able to play your picks well. Like, you're high-level heroes, right? You need to be able to understand them to such a degree. That's what Dota is nowadays, more than the draft itself. And I will see Van going on to Formless. He's been slowed down ever so slightly. They're going for the last racks. Van doesn't want to commit too much. There's a silence onto the Enigma, but he's still confident. He gets it off with the Guardian Greaves, and he has a black hole in 2 seconds, so that silence was completely wasted regardless. They want to take these melee racks anyway, and Necronomicon is just hitting the range racks to get the whole Mega Creep experience. They're going to go down, both of them, as the Necronomicon Creep's just a bit confused anyway. Doesn't really want to go for buildings, but they're going to take it no matter what. Mind's Eye doesn't really know how to defend this, and those melee racks will fall, and the Mega Creeps will start to come from the Thunder Awaken side.
With the Aghanim Scepter on Phantom Lens, if you paid attention to the Formless, he actually literally almost died to the illusions. They were living for 10, 15 seconds. Look at this!
It's just an army.
They keep on running, keep on spawning, and zoning out with one lens. Here it comes on, he goes on the smash. Oh god.
Okay, careful, Void. Laguna's Blade, he's done! There's no Chrono! There's no Chrono! That's it! How do you defend this? You have global silence, but that's all you have to defend as an Onion. Is yeah, the GG comes out. They know that without Chrono they can't survive this, and in the end, that great simple combo, you know, that Void Ogre Magi is not good enough to beat the Commander Van. You know, Mind Fuhrer is able to win this match for their team, and Thunder Awaken take this best of 2-0. What was so good about their draft bot that gave me the last end game analysis?
Well,
or
to
about
be
everything.
honest, it felt like the Phantom Lancer just get out of the control. They focused Smash constantly. He got all the hatred, but then got his back. Plus, Leo Style is a very experienced mid lane player. He knew where to catch this co-op, and Mind's Eye just hated on Smash too much, in my opinion. They committed every single spell on him, and without the spells, they were completely helpless. Yeah, as you already mentioned, this cleaning squad with Van, with Leo Style, they just came there. I was like, alright, you got no Global Silence, you got no Sonic Wave, you got no Chrono, so what are you doing here, guys? Bye-bye, have fun in the tavern. Great game by Thunder Awaken, was a pleasure to watch, yet waiting for more for them in further games.
And we will be coming back tomorrow. We're done for today, as this best of 2 was the one that marked the end of the ProDota Cup American region, for the American region, of course sponsored by XBet. So again, if you enjoyed the cast, feel free to follow us on Twitter at DSwordfish and at Vätte Dota. We'll put the links in the chat so it's easier for you to access it. And if you didn't, feel free to tell us why. You know, in the chat we're always open to criticism. And of course, visit our sponsor XBet to bet on these games and have a favorable odds as the odds may always be in your favor. Be smart as Rubik, right? And bet in XBet. We'll come back tomorrow with some more games. In fact, we'll start tomorrow at 10 CEST, which is around 4 in the afternoon for Peruvians, for those of you that are interested in watching, as I'm assuming a lot of you will be watching from that country. And we'll be coming back with Unknown versus Midas Club as the first game of the day, so stay tuned for that. And for those of you that couldn't watch this game on Smashcast, para los que no pudieran ver la partida en Smashcast, feel free to watch it on YouTube. We'll post the replays later on today, and that way you can watch it at the same quality as Smashcast, even better actually, with higher FPS, but without the lag in case you don't have the best internet. Siempre podéis ir a YouTube para ver las partidas, donde las posteo yo en las replays luego con nuestros comentarios, como no. Y para la mejor manera de encontrarlas es darnos un follow en Twitter para ver cuándo posteamos las partidas al acabar el día de hoy. See you guys tomorrow with some more Dota 2, and I'll see you guys in Vätte, and I say goodbye to the people watching today. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.